Hello and welcome back to the Self-Love Show with me, Sammy. I am your host, a clinical hypnotherapist helping women to have total identity glow ups. So we're going out of that worthlessness, I'm not good enough, nothing works out for me, into the identity of your it girl, the luckiest girl alive that everybody loves. We are doing identity transformation so that you then attract the kind of relationships you want. I work with subconscious reprogramming to help women lock in the identities of their dream versions of themselves. Every single version of you exists, and it is down to the programming of your subconscious mind as to who you show up in your life as, and therefore what you attract. So in today's episode, I want to get into the finer detail as to how subconscious programming manifests to you, the dreams that you have, the things off your vision board, the stuff that you've wanted for years. What I will take you through is exactly what I did for myself back in 2021 when I had postpartum anxiety. My business wasn't moving, my relationship really wasn't good, and I was gonna have to go back to work for the government. And fast forward to 2025, I am an entirely a different woman. The version of me that I always wished that I could be but thought was impossible: successful business, an amazing relationship. And our second daughter arrived a year ago. She's fast asleep right now whilst I work. So let's take it back to the basics. When we're learning about manifestation, we think it's all about holding a frequency, holding a vibe, attracting. Like the law of attraction is the thing that we hear about the most. That my mind could never understand what on earth I really actually needed to do. And this whole concept gets made harder than what it actually is. So I want to make it really simple for you. Your subconscious mind holds tons of belief systems about you. It holds them as neural pathways, and these become expectations. They become truths. They become the narrative, the one perspective that your mind holds on as to how your life is going to unravel for you because of who at this point you're identifying as, due to those belief systems. And those belief systems, you weren't born with them. They came to you from experiences and the environment that you were in as a child. So I want you to imagine this ball of wirings, these ball of neural pathways. Now, every single one of them has a belief system, and a belief system is just a thought that you've thought over and over and over. So for me, when I thought I was beneath people and nobody likes me, it's because I'd thought it over and over and over. It's the way that my mind had interpreted situations so that it kept me playing small and hiding myself, people pleasing, so that I was never rejected again. My body did not want to be in the fear of what it then at that point deemed was a threat to my survival. So over and over, with repetition of a specific belief about me, that became my identity. It became a neural wiring. And from that ball of wirings, these concepts of you, concepts of men, concepts of money, concepts of your body, it's all like this made up narrative, and it's programmed into your subconscious as ultimate, absolute, this is now how it occurs. Because your subconscious mind needs familiarity, it needs to know what is going to occur, and it needs things to feel normal. That's how your nervous system stays regulated. From those neural wirings, they are essentially messages that go to your reticular activating system. Now, your reticular activating system is what the lens that you see through. So imagine you've got on a set of glasses, and this is now the lens you see through into reality. And every single one of us has a different lens, because the experiences you see, it then has to be decoded, deleted, and distorted in alignment with your specific neural wirings. So if you have a belief, there's no good men, if you have a belief, no one's interested in me, I'm invisible, I'm not good enough, I'm beneath other people, nobody likes me, those messages are now your filters, and that is the whole lens through which you see your life. And those are the meanings and the perspectives that you attach to every situation. And from there, your body then responds, like your behaviors, the way that you react, the way that you get triggered, the way that you freak out, worry that somebody's going to leave you, worry that nobody likes you, you can't sleep at night, you've got the anxiety, you've got the stress, you're on the medications, you've got depression, you're chasing after people, you're people pleasing, you're a doormat being walked all over so nobody can leave you, because the wirings in your mind identified as a girl who nobody likes, nobody loves, isn't good enough. You've got to chase and prove yourself so people stick around. So how you then attract the scenarios in your life and versions of individuals in your life through your subconscious mind is because those filters that are then put into your external experience, they are filtering down the billions of bits of information in front of you so that you only see what you're expecting. You will only see what you believe in. You can't see past what you believe is going to be occurring. It's what you're positively or negatively expecting of others. You will then place that lens upon them and they will show up in that manner. Plus, when you believe you're not good enough for them and when you're worried that they will leave, you'll let them get away with anything. You'll back down on your boundaries and standards just through the sheer fear that they'll leave, and they will learn that you've got no value over yourself and they'll treat you in the same manner. I first started this formula back in 2021 when I thought the worst of myself. I thought I was an awful human. I thought nobody loved me. I thought I wasn't worthy of anything. I saw other women achieving my dream life, but I didn't believe or think I was worthy of having that too. I thought that they were in totally different calibers to me. What I did is I went into what I call my glow up bubble, and I got absolutely obsessed with uncovering what those self-beliefs were, where they came from, and I changed them. I created a character who has an identity of the version of me I absolutely dreamed to be. Now, how I did this was I had a lot of people that I would look up to, influencers, celebrities, people that I was kind of watching that had the things that I desired in my life, had the relationships, they had the business, they had the success, they had the love for themselves, they had the audacity to be bold and to shine and to show up and say the stuff that they wanted to say and make a massive impact in the world. And what I would do is I would imagine what her beliefs would have been about herself when she wakes up in the morning. So she absolutely is thinking, I am so blessed. I'm so grateful for this life. I have the best of the best life in the whole world. I am deserving of all of this. Her whole body feels normalized in receiving just because of her existence. She feels normal to receive love. She feels normal to receive success. She feels normal in adoration, in people respecting her, valuing her, loving her, adoring her. She has a normalized nervous system, waking up in her dream life, knowing that she is worthy of it and she deserves it. So I created those very specific self-beliefs, and I spent the foreseeable months of 2021, about 6 months, every single night following my formula and the tools that are over in my membership, the Dream a Girl Life Academy. You can come and join. The links on my social media and the podcast notes. And I would change my thoughts that turn into beliefs, and I would do it on repetition until my body started to feel as though what I was saying was true. It truly is down to having absolute clarity on the dream version of you, what her internal beliefs are, because they're your neural wirings and they will be filtered into your reality. They create the lens through which you see your life. They create then your responses, your behaviors. They create how you respond to other people and then how they respond back to you. And it truly is with repetition, persistence, and consistency that eventually you'll hit a sweet point of 51% believing that this is now who you are because you have repeated the process. So I would do my scripting, I would listen to my self-talk tracks, I would listen to my evening hypnosis, I would have a very clear vision of the version of me having the best month of my life. And I would repeat those processes until my body started to feel like this is now who I am. We have internal dialogue going on every single day that we're not even aware of. And all you have to do to change your life is catch it and replace it with what you would be thinking if you were your dream self, if you had the dream outcome. We absolutely have to be delusional in the process of activating our dream selves, because you've not been there before, you've not believed in that version of you. And Delulu is the definition of believing in something that you haven't yet seen. So this new identity with repetition, I'm now starting to feel, this is me. I deserve the best of the best. I deserve exactly what everybody else has on this planet. We're made of the same stuff. I'm now feeling this unwavering worthiness in my whole system. Now it's time to show up like her physically in my life. So then as I'm believing I'm this valuable, when it comes to my relationships, that encourages me to have the confidence to be certain of what my needs are, my desires, and my standards, to be confident in when I need to speak up in confrontation and say the things that I feel needs to be said without my whole system freaking out and worrying that somebody's going to leave me or reject me. I'm now choosing myself and physically showing the whole universe that. And this is a two-part thing. Because I'm now believing how valuable I am, I'm now believing what I get to have in my life, and I'm thinking differently about what other people think of me. I'm going to have that filtered through to me, and people are now seeing how much I value myself, and that gets reflected back to me. Somebody treats you with the level of respect that you're showing you have for yourself. And I ultimately, in my body, made a decision. I am never chasing after a man, a person, or a thing ever again in my life. And through the combination of those two things, I'm wiring in brand new pathways of who I absolutely believe I am, knowing this is going to get filtered through to me. And secondly, I'm showing up in my life as a woman who deeply, absolutely values herself. Even when initially my body's freaking out, eventually it becomes normal, realistic. This is just what I do now. This is what I expect. From there, I then start to gather small bits of information and evidence that's giving me the confirmation of what I am now believing to be true. And I hold on to it and I catalog it as though this is working. I found proof for myself to show me my subconscious mind and the identity that I hold is manifesting into my physical life. And this is now the evidence. And it only has to be a very small piece of evidence for you to start to build the momentum of understanding how this works. And then the shifts of the narratives and the stories in your mind, especially in challenging situations, gets easier. You start to see how what you speak about in your mind is absolutely 100% reflected into your physical reality, and people are playing the roles that your mind absolutely believes that they are. And when it comes to your frequency and your vibration, this is about your state of being. So the way that you feel, your subconscious mind works through emotions. So you have to, when you're speaking a new affirmation, when you're speaking out a new narrative, a new story, a new expectation, a new rule of how you want life working for you, that you're going to code obsessively into your blueprint, so it's then filtered through into your reality, you need to attach the emotions to it, because that's how your subconscious mind accepts something. It runs off of emotions. So if you're the dream version of you and you have absolute clarity on what she believes about herself, her worth, her value, and how life is now going to work for her, how does that make you feel? And how does that make you feel even when you're facing the opposite situation? You gather this information so you're absolutely clear now on what you're going to do moving forward, that in every challenge and in every opposite circumstance, you know exactly what to do. You now have an opportunity not to loop into the old version of you. So say you're in a conflict with your boyfriend, or say you've made barely any money that month in your business. The previous version of you, her thoughts would be, I'm not good enough, he doesn't love me, he's gonna leave me, nobody's interested in me, why should I bother anymore? All this effort I'm putting in, I'm not getting the feedback that I need. Your actions would then be, with the boyfriend, you'd back down on your boundaries, you wouldn't want the conflict, you would let them get away with anything, you would allow them to walk all over you, you were showing them that you value them and you're pedestaling them above yourself, just so that you can keep them in your life. With your business, you would stop showing up. You wouldn't have the energy behind the things that you're saying. You haven't got the passion anymore because you've not got the belief anymore. It completely changes then the version of you that shows up in your reality that then impacts the things that come into your future. So in those challenging situations, that old version of you, this is now the opportunity to be the new version of you. What does she do in this situation? What does she think? And how does she act? Because I'm going to tell you for certain, the version of you who loves herself unbelievably, like you're obsessed with who you are and you know that you can be whoever you want and you can get whatever you want. When you're faced with conflict with somebody, if you're experiencing disrespect, you will be so icked out by their presence and their behavior that you won't actually want to be around them. I can tell you that for certain. You'll want to choose yourself above them. You'll want your space from them. You're not going to want to be around somebody that cannot value, respect, and love you in the way that you now love, respect, and value yourself. And with that space and with that removal of your presence and with that change of your behavior, so you're not spiraling, you're not getting emotional, you're not triggering, you show them how much you value yourself. You show them that you're worth millions and billions, and they change how they then respond to you in future scenarios. And with your business, instead of giving up, you have belief in the fact that clients need you, they love you, they're obsessed with you. You have belief in the fact that your products are worthy, your services are amazing, you're the best of the best, you're the number one in the industry, and the universe is going to do insane things for you to make this work out. What you believe is going to come into fruition. So then you continue, you bring more passion, you bring more energy, you get more ideas, you show up more than you've ever shown up before, and you're obsessed with what you're doing and you know what you're giving to the world. You don't hide away. So literally by the thoughts you're thinking that become your beliefs, that then becomes your filter, that becomes the lens through which you see life, which then impacts your action, you manifest an entirely different life in every single area of your life by who you're now deciding, defining, declaring, and obsessing over that you are. These new stories that this dream version of you is going to be expecting with certainty, with knowing how your subconscious mind works. You hold it, you repeat it, you persist in it, regardless of where you're currently at and where your past has been. And your filter mechanism will be updated, it will be adjusted, and you will get the reflection of what you're believing in. What you believe, you will have copy and pasted into your physical reality. But where we trip up the most is by looking for the external evidence first before we decide to believe in something, before we think we're worthy, before we're expecting positively of the best ever outcomes. So what I want you to take away from this is in those moments where you're triggering, in those moments where you're looking for so much evidence externally, for the reassurance and for the validation to come in, I want you to go back into your glow up bubble, and I want you to get so super clear on who is your dream self and what on earth would she be thinking right now, because it is going to be completely opposite to the triggered version of you who doesn't think that she's good enough. Having this understanding and training as a clinical hypnotherapist has changed my life, because there is no day now where I feel hopeless. I might have bad days, bad weeks, bad months, low energy, poor moods, but I know that I can reset, restart, and recalibrate every single day. And it all starts with the story I have in my mind about who I am, with how valuable I believe that I am, and what I'm absolutely not willing to accept anything less than. And I know that with persistence, with obsession, and with repetition, my filter mechanism will be updated, and it has to be confirmed to me. That is confirmation bias. This whole thing is science. We're not talking nonsense when we're talking about manifestation. But before you start getting obsessed over a man or something outside of you to come in to make you feel good enough, you have to up-level the foundation. You have to work on who you are and who you're believing that you are and how worthy you think you are and what you believe you are deserving of. If there's someone on this planet that has what you want, you deserve it too. You're made of the same stuff. There's nothing different about you. You just need to reprogram your mind in accordance with that version of you so that that version of your life can come in. It cannot come in until you believe you're worthy of it and you believe that it's possible. So I really hope that you've loved today's episode. Please like, subscribe, give me some comments, send it to your besties, follow, join the membership or the course. They are linked in the notes below, and I will speak with you in the next episode.